let's talk about Monique, who can't seem to let things go. This lady stay holding a grudge. I would never want to get on Monique bad side because this lady stay always worrying about other people who ain't thinking about her or seeking validation for people who will never give her the validation that she wants. So the other day, Monique decided to write an open letter. I don't know for what reason this all stemmed from, but I guess she had seen a clip of Whoopi or something online, and it prompted her to write a story or a post that nobody cared about. But anyway, let's get into it. So, and they said that this was damn near a decade ago. She's still holding on to a 10-year-old grudge because she went on The View and her and Whoopi got into it because she said she felt exploited by the promotion cycle surrounding Precious. The fact of the matter was that they wanted her to do a lot of promo and stuff, I guess, for the Oscar run. And she was like, I have a family. I can't just be digging in my own wallet to promote things that y'all should be footing the bill for. So then she decided to write an impassioned open letter calling out Goldberg over the 2018 moment. Monique 58 shared the letter addressed to Sister Whoopi. She always does that. Sister Whoopi. Late Monday in an Instagram post, which she began by noting that she felt inspired to address the lingering conflict after seeing a resurfaced clip of her prior interaction with Goldberg, who's 70, on The View, saying the tone of the comments today seems different from the energy 8 years ago, with many people now agreeing with my sentiments about not working with people or entities that I don't owe anything to. I wonder, have your feelings changed since that time? The 2018 on air moment saw Monique express that she did all of my contractual obligations for promoting Precious in 2009, despite being pressured to do even more promotion from the Oscar winning film, which Monique alleged resulted in career setbacks and punishment from director Lee Daniels, with whom she later reconciled and worked with again in 2024's The Deliverance, and producers Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. She said, I was also intrigued to learn that in 1993, there was an attempt to sue you regarding Theodore Rex because it was alleged that you had made a verbal commitment to the film. Monique wrote in Monday's letter, referencing a prior legal case in which Goldberg was sued over being contractually obligated to complete the film. Your defense was that you never actually committed. You can imagine how confused I was when I discovered this, especially since when I explained that my only contractual obligation was to Lee Daniels. It didn't sway your opinion enough to stop you from saying you could have schooled me on doing what they expected from me. Monique won Best Supporting Actress Oscar for Precious and referenced her choice not to campaign in her speech. Further claimed that Perry later admitted that she wasn't difficult to work with, but condemned him for not broadcasting the information after she said she suffered career setbacks over the fallout from behind the scenes Precious drama. And you know, the one thing they don't like is anybody difficult, particularly a woman, and particularly, most definitely, a Black woman. So any of that gets around, you already know that they're going to pounce on that. They said the reason I said we must look out for the little girl coming behind us is because of situations like Epstein Island and the other powerful people avoiding accountability. People like Tyler Perry refused to take responsibility while I had to take responsibility for refusing my sign up for an act of slavery against my will. The worst part is that another woman chastised me on a platform meant to empower women. Get your and then they also said the actors went on to reference former The View producer Candy Carter, who was at the show from 2015 and 2017 and previously worked on the Oprah Winfrey Show from 1996 to 2001. We already know the story with Oprah, where Oprah was shady and brought on family members of Monique's family who had did her dirty in her past. So there's been a lot of shady things, and there's always the worst thing when you look back on things. You realize those Black women who you looked up to and you revere don't necessarily have your back and will step all over you in a minute just so that way they can have their own success. So in looking at it from Monique's standpoint, I do feel like it's messed up what these other women did to you. However, Monique, you have to learn to make peace with your past and a lot of the things that happen with that. and not let these situations get to you. I feel like she focuses too much on seeking apologies and validations and wondering, were you thinking about, I was thinking about this and I was wondering, did you think about this and think about holding yourself accountable? Whoopi ain't thinking about that shit. Whoopi's sitting there trying to hold on to that seat over at The View. That's what she worried about. And spewing a bunch of damn nothing as a moderator. She is not sitting up here thinking about, oh, I hurt Monique feelings 10 years ago. And Tyler Perry ain't thinking about that either. He thinking about selling his 25% share of BET Plus to Paramount. That's what he thinking about, or whatever piece of dumbness he about to write up and feed y'all, and y'all gonna eat it up like old ass gumbo. That's what he thinking about. And Oprah busy up there worrying about her next Ozempic injection. That's what she worrying about. So they're not sitting here thinking about hurting, whether or not they hurt Monique feelings 10 years ago. I feel like people really need to stop thinking about the consistency of seeking validation for people who don't see it for you. She said what she said. She feel how she feels. She done moved on. Stop holding on to that, because all that does, when you hold on to all that old ass energy, you end up with crow's feet. You end up with ulcers. You will end up with all this stress up in your back and in your shoulders. I'm about to start blaming Sydney for all this, because ever since you've been married to that man and let him manage your affairs, it's just been this back and forth bitterness at you angry, and you just punch in the air at this industry because they've done you dirty. Welcome to Hollywood. It is all about eat or be eaten. That's what you got to worry about. Like, where your next meal is coming from. There's a lot of people in this industry that are just awful fucking people. Stop sitting there being so goddamn sensitive. I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid, because they are, but you sitting here holding on to old ass grudges. What is that doing to you? It's making you seem like maybe they were right, that you are a little bit difficult because you letting every little thing get to you. Trust and believe, I've been hurt by a lot of people in business, and I be in my feelings about it, but I make peace with it and I move on. And I know not to mess with them ever again when it comes to business. Because I'm gonna avoid them people over there. I keep my eye on the prize and I keep moving, because you're always gonna be dealing with snakes and charlatans. But you can't let that get the best of you. And then another 10 years, you're gonna be writing another open damn letter. Whoopi will probably be dead by then. You still gonna be seeking that apology. So I get it. I understand how you feel, and you have a right to be upset. And I love the fact that you're willing to stand up for what's right in the world and all this other stuff. But um, you waiting on her, because she also went on to say, but I caution you, if you admit you were wrong, you'd be going against all the right people. So are you willing to do what's right for us little girls coming behind us, or is your position still F the little girl coming behind us? And so you still worrying about her coming clean, so that way she makes it for them girls that's coming up behind Whoopi. They ain't thinking, they don't know what the hell you talking about. And Whoopi ain't thinking about them girls coming behind us. She worrying about her next check. Like I said before, over there at The View, because that's all she's doing at this point. Unless, oh wait, she does have a documentary coming out about her life. I didn't hear she's doing that. So Whoopi got other things that she's worrying about, and you sit here worrying about doing the right thing for little girls behind you. Why don't you be the one to be the change, and be change for the girls behind you? Lead by example. Don't hold on to that grudge. Be a mentor to the next generation of girls coming up who could use that mentorship and want to be where you are, not pissing all over every opportunity you have because you want to be punching the air over bullshit from 10 years ago. But the fact of the matter is that you're a comedian, you're an artist, you're someone who's been in the industry, you're an Oscar winner. You can go out and mentor those young girls coming up behind you. Excuse me, instead of worrying about and putting all this energy and bullshit nobody cares about. Let's trust and believe. I've learned this a long time ago. It's like I'm sitting there holding on all this energy and grudge and hatred for somebody who I already know probably deep down inside ain't thinking twice that I'm sitting up in here stressed out thinking about their ass. So I don't think about them. And that's what you got to do. But I got to find, what is Monique's sign? Because it probably explains every damn thing about her holding these damn grudges and being having all that stress up in this situation. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Does Monique have a point, or is it time for her to just stop holding on to grudges from a decade ago that ain't none of us was thinking about? So let me know, or just drop it in the comments down below.